gentlemen, together with incoming music director Jonathan Hayward and board chair Barry Rosen, I, Mark Hansen, who have the privilege of serving as the BSO's president and CEO, welcome you to the Meyerhoff this morning for today's exciting announcements. We are thrilled to have so many distinguished special guests with us this morning. The presence of state, regional, and city elected leadership is a testament to the excitement surrounding Jonathan's arrival as our next music director, and I think their presence here is also a testament to the vision of the BSO to be an orchestra for all of Maryland. As we pursue that goal, we in turn will be inspired by the vast amount of creativity that exists throughout the city, region, and state. Thank you all, elected officials, for taking time out of your busy schedules to be with us this morning and to share our exciting news. I also want to express thanks to many members of the BSO family, board members, musicians, and staff colleagues who have joined us this morning. They truly are the fuel that makes this organization run. The BSO is proud of our role as Maryland's full-time, year-round orchestra, and we are committed now more than ever before to offering a wide array of exciting, diverse, and inclusive programs to Marylanders across the state. Today, you'll hear from each of our guests about various components of our jam-packed summer season, which kicks off in July with our Star-Spangled Spectacular concerts and runs all the way up to the much-anticipated debut of our new music director, Jonathan Hayward, during a 3-day season opening celebration in September. We're thrilled to have Jonathan here today, and you'll get to hear from him later in today's program. And we invite you all back this weekend for his first concerts as music director designate, and again in the middle of this month for another wonderful program, both here at the Meyerhoff and at our other home, Strathmore. Tickets for many of the exciting summer events you'll hear about today are now available for purchase or reservation, with many offering either free or pay-as-you-wish pricing. Following today's events, more details on our summer season will be available on our website, bsomusic.org. Now, I believe it is my privilege to welcome to the podium our first speaker of the day, Mayor Brandon Scott.
Thank you, Mark, and good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mr. Governor, Madam First Lady. Jonathan, welcome and good to see you again. Our county executives, both from Baltimore and Howard County. Everyone, welcome, of course, to the historic Mount Vernon Cultural District at the Joseph Meyerhoff Symphony Hall. Baltimore is a special place for many, many, many reasons. And our thriving arts community, and of course, our symphony orchestra is absolutely one of them. For many of our residents, the arts are a critical component and driver of the city's continued health, wellness, and success. And our love of music is a common element that we share. That is why I am always excited to be here at the BSO, to partner with the BSO, and excited to share several announcements in the partnership with the BSO this morning. I am pleased to share that the BSO is extending its free concert series into the summer months in partnership with the Urban Oasis, which is an organization helping to transform West Baltimore. And on Thursday, August the 3rd, the BSO will kick off Urban Oasis Summer Sounds 4-week concert series with a Symphony in the City performance under the baton of Nicholas Hirsch. I also want to thank BGE for making the BSO Symphony in the City series possible, including an evening of chamber music coming to Patterson Park on Friday, May the 12th. And of course, the BSO's summer season wouldn't be complete without family-friendly programming right here at the Meyerhoff, making this facility your go-to destination for summer fun and a reprieve from what we know will be Baltimore summer heat and humidity in a few weeks. We've got an amazing lineup with the BSO performing programs including Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince live in concert, the music of The Voice, if you don't know, that's Whitney Houston, and so much more. But this is Baltimore, and we're talking to BSO, and we're talking about summer. Finally, if you weren't there, last year's celebrations were a huge success, and the BSO's free Star Spangled Celebration concert that we presented at Rash Field was nothing short of incredible. So I'm going to say it today, in partnership with BOPA and Waterfront Partnership of Baltimore, we're welcoming all residents and visitors from the region back to the Inner Harbor for more festivities and, of course, fireworks at this year's 4th of July celebration. So please come back. Yes, Mark, the mayor will be coming in by kayak again, listening to the music as I come in. We can't wait to see everyone there. Baltimore, this is your orchestra, and we want you to experience it. We appreciate the BSO for all they do in the community. I, of course, in particular, the Orchids, showing our young people what they can possibly be and expanding their musical talents throughout the city of Baltimore. Thank you very much. Congratulations, and let's hear the music.
Mayor Scott, thank you very, very much. And I think I can accurately report that the air conditioning here at the Meyerhoff is working spectacularly well. So this will be one of the most comfortable and enjoyable places to be this summer. And wherever the Baltimore Symphony goes during the course of the summer, we bring no rain and cooler than usual temperatures. Now we're going to move to introducing a dear friend of the Symphony, Baltimore County Executive Johnny Olszewski.
Good morning. It is a pleasure to be with you today and honored to celebrate the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra and this exciting and expansive summer announcement. I want to join the mayor in thanking and acknowledging our governor, Wes Moore, our first lady. Mayor, it's always wonderful to be with you. We've been spending quite a bit of time celebrating 3 times in the last 2 days, celebrating incredible work that's happening across our region, though. So it's been for good reasons. Always good to see my friend, County Executive Baugh, Laura Gamble, Mark Hansen. It's wonderful to be with you and to meet you today. Excited for what you're going to bring to this amazing institution. Jonathan, Mark, thank you for your leadership as well, and to all of the musicians, community partners, and supporters of the arts who have joined today. We know that the BSO is one of the best examples of what Baltimore and the Baltimore region has to offer in terms of cultural anchors. These are anchors that inspire us, they challenge us, and they help us to find community in the places that we all love together in our shared love of the arts. It's why Baltimore County is proud to be such a strong supporter of these anchors, and the BSO is no exception to that. In addition to the 52 weeks of programming, we're very excited to have the time-honored tradition of the Summer Spectacular with the BSO kicking off on July 3rd at Oregon Ridge in Baltimore County. So come see us before you see the mayor kayak into the Inner Harbor. It's a great way to ring in our nation's independence. It will really be a lot of fun. The summertime experience brings together people of all ages, varying backgrounds, to enjoy stunning musical performances as well as our scenic beauty, first in the rolling hills of Baltimore County and then the waterfront in our beloved city. It is a great way to kick off an incredible summer of programming across the state of Maryland. So if you haven't attended our performances in the past, this summer is your opportunity to correct that, and I strongly encourage you to do so. We are really excited to welcome our neighbors and families from across the region and state at Oregon Ridge in July for amazing music, delicious local vendors, and a brilliant fireworks display to end the evening. It's really a reminder for all of us why support for the arts and our cultural institutions is so critical. It makes a difference for our families, it makes a difference for our communities, and it really helps develop the next generation of shared talent of artists who are ready to make our region proud. So we in Baltimore County are proud to support the BSO, to be part of this amazing summer lineup. We look forward to continuing our support for our amazing cultural institutions and arts anchors. So thank you again for the opportunity to join you this morning, and I look forward to seeing everyone at Oregon Ridge on July 3rd. Thanks so much.
It's clearly evident this morning that we have some incredible elected leaders in our city, region, and state. We also are very fortunate to have some incredible corporate leaders. Joining us next is PNC Regional Vice President Laura Gamble.
Thank you, Mark. Governor, First Lady, county executives, mayor, and maestro. It's really a pleasure to be here. I'm going to correct you a little bit. I'm the regional president. Just want to make sure we get that right for PNC Bank. And PNC Bank has been a staunch supporter of the BSO for over 15 years. Through both our foundation and also through sponsorship, as we did last year of the July 4th celebration at Inner Harbor. We were really thrilled to bring people back into Baltimore's downtown to see our world-class symphony, and we hope to do so again this year. The arts are such an important part of the fabric of our community that we really believe in them at PNC to be the thing that helps make our region attractive for living, working, and playing. And that is why we think it's such an important thing, and we should be continuing to contribute to them. So we are very pleased to continue that, our support of the BSO, and hopefully also of we definitely will support Music for Maryland, but we're also hoping to also support the July 4th celebration. So we hope to see you all there. So thank you very much for this opportunity to be with this esteemed group. Thank you.
The Meyerhoff, where magic happens and promotions are given. Laura, my apologies. Thank you for that correction. Next up, another dear friend, Howard County Executive Calvin Ball.
Thank you so much, Mark. Thank you all for being here today. It is always exciting to come here to the BSO. I was talking with one of my team members, and we were discussing how we were both graduates of the University of Baltimore. And hearing from some of my dear friends, County Executive Olszewski, Mayor Scott, and I'm so excited to have our Governor and First Lady, Governor Moore and First Lady Moore. Please give them another big round of applause. Welcome, Jonathan. It's so good to have you here, and thank you, Mark and team. But this is a reminder that the BSO, of course, may be housed right here, but it impacts our entire state. We have been so excited in Howard County to be partners with the BSO for more than 20 years, more than 2 decades of making sure that we capture the imaginations of so many, that we explore what was, what is, and what can be. And I am so excited that our programming has included coming to, of course, Meriwether, the Chrysalis, and I'm so glad to see Ian Kennedy here, one of our friends who works so closely with our Meriwether Arts and Culture Center. And while, of course, I want us to visit many of the wonderful events around the region that you've already heard about, I think especially during this time as we are recovering from the pandemic, anyone who has ever faced any challenges, anyone who has ever had to overcome something might enjoy coming this year to downtown Columbia, September 13th, to see the BSO as they have a performance of Rocky. So, of course, there's always a little bit of healthy competition with my dear friends over there. Irons sharpens iron. And I think while all of these are fantastic performance, I would like to say in Howard County, a lot of people are looking forward to coming to see Rocky. So thank you all very much, and please continue to support the BSO.
Now, a wonderful moment for all of us. We get to hear from both the governor and First Lady. Again, our deepest thanks as an organization for the support that you have already lent the symphony. Jonathan, Allison, and I, along with Christian Johansson, so enjoyed our recent visit with you in your spanking new office at the state capitol. Thank you for welcoming Jonathan to the state in such a warm and generous way. So we will now hear from the Governor of Maryland, Wes Moore, followed by the First Lady. Join us.
Thank you so much, Mark. Good morning. I'm just glad I don't have to speak after her. I really am honored to be here, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see a celebration of not just something that is so special to Baltimore, but something that is so special to our entire state. And I think it shows itself when you see the leaders of such remarkable and diverse and such powerful jurisdictions like Howard County and County Executive. It's great to be with you this morning. Like Baltimore County Executive, it's great to be with you this morning. And for our hometown mayor, Mr. Mayor, it's great to be with you this morning. To see the power of collaboration and the competitive spirit is truly a beautiful thing. It's also really powerful to see what it means to know that in order for all of our communities to grow, it means every aspect and sector of our community has to be involved and engaged. And so to be here with Laura, thank you so much for the leadership of PNC in the private sector. I see here our chair, Mr. Christian Johansson. It's great to be with you, and thanks for your leadership. Shalonda Stokes, and the remarkable work happening not just in downtown, but all throughout. I mean, this shows what happens when you watch a combination of the private sector, of the public sector, of government, of the arts, of the community. This is what collaboration looks like. And this is why we're going to win. This is why this is going to be Maryland's decade. It's because everybody is going to have their fingerprints on it. And we could not be more excited to have, as a director of the BSO, someone who is world-class, someone who is a world-class talent and a world-class leader. Jonathan, bless you, and thank you so much for your leadership. And by the way, he did say that he is going to allow me to guest orchestrate a show. Y'all need to be there for that. That's going to be a show. That's going to be something special. But I'm also honored to be here because this really is a celebration of not just community. It's a celebration of music and its importance. Where I know that, that music has always been a foundation for me, that I always feel like my life moves at a soundtrack, where there's just certain songs that you hear and you can remember where you were. You can remember a certain moment. I remember it was me playing a real janky version of Redemption Song that I got my first chance to have this woman over here to say, oh, he's actually pretty talented. And that's when I knew that she was a very patient woman too. Or the first time when we were talking music, and when she asked who my favorite artist was, and I said, Donny Hathaway. Yeah. And that's when she said, okay, he might be okay. Or the fact that, I ended up finishing my undergrad experience over at Johns Hopkins University and, studied economics and studied international relations. And, Hopkins isn't really known as a party school. The most popular place at Hopkins on a Friday night was always the library. But I ended up doing, and even though those are the things that I studied, I ended up doing my senior thesis actually on music and music's effect on social change. where I did, even though I studied economics and international relations, I did my senior thesis about how to understand the movements of our society. You have to understand the music that served as the soundtrack of it. That you couldn't understand the evolution of Jamaica without understanding that it was actually Bob Marley who found a way to bring together warring political factions at a time when they were literally on the brink of civil war. And he did something that other elected leaders have no shot of doing, of bringing the two leaders together on stage and shaking hands. A musician did that. That you cannot understand what happened in South Africa. And with the ending of the apartheid movement, where it wasn't for people like Hugh Masekela and Lady Blacksmith Mambazo, and people who used music to help to educate the world about the horrors of apartheid, and who did more to educate people about a gentleman named Nelson Mandela than many other elected officials had the courage to do it. That you cannot understand this country without understanding the words and the music of people like Bob Dylan, or understanding a person like Jimi Hendrix, who gets up on the stage at Woodstock and plays the national anthem on a guitar. Complete soulful riffs, including things that sound like bombing raids, while our nation was still grappling and wrestling with warfare. It was music. Whether it's understanding people like Chuck D and Public Enemy, who in many ways called themselves and prided themselves on being, as they called it, they were the CNN of Black America. And you can't understand this city and this region without understanding the importance of music. Try explaining Baltimore without names like Billie Holiday. Try explaining Baltimore without names like U.B. Blake. Try explaining Baltimore without names like Philip Glass. Try explaining Baltimore better than the way that Nina Simone did in 1978 in her remake of Oh Baltimore, where in her deep and her soulful voice and her singing over a reggae drum concoction of steel drums helped to tell the story of a city that the whole world would better understand. Music is how we tell our stories. Music is how we share our pain. Music is how we celebrate our successes. Music's how we bring people together. It educates, it elevates, it validates, it makes us fall in love. Music. And that's what today is all about. And that's what the BSO is all about. That it's not just about the celebration of music, it's about the celebration of sharing it. And knowing that that joy and that beauty belongs to everybody and not just some. That's what this season represents. And so I'm proud of the fact that the state of Maryland will be providing the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra with a $500,000 investment that will help take their music on the road, taking it all throughout the state. And that this investment will not just spread sounds, it will spread hope. It'll spread hope to everybody who has the joy of being able to benefit from this remarkable orchestra and this remarkable leadership. Hope to the person over in West Baltimore who hears classical music for the first time, and that young girl who maybe thinks that she'll pick up an instrument. Hope to the older adult who is living and retired on the Eastern Shore, who remembers what it was like to go out to the symphony, but hasn't listened to live music in years. Hope to the person who was able to spend a weekend just taking their kids to go hear a piece of music so they can be introduced to something that can show them that the world is bigger than what's directly in front of them. That's what this initiative is building. And that's why we will continue to work with the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra and other community partners to build a state that powers the arts, from music to dance to film to theater to painting. We are committed to building a state that leaves no one behind. And we know that the arts is going to be a core glue to actually make that happen. And so I'll conclude and turn it over to my wife in the words of one of my favorite musicians. Not Bach, not Beethoven, but Biggie. Stay far from timid. Only make moves if your heart's in it. And live the phrase, sky's the limit. Bless you all, and thank you so much.
I don't know who thought it was a good idea for me to follow my husband. I thought Queen Latifah said ladies first, but anyway. But it's so wonderful to be here with this esteemed group, and thank you so much. Thank you. That's my partner right there. That's your partner. So he still gives me butterflies. But this is, as Wes said, very, very personal for us. When I reflect on the importance of the arts, I'm brought back to my childhood. My mother made a point to make sure that my life was always filled with art. I grew up in a household of musicians. My father was a drummer, my mother a singer. She played the congas. She tried to get us to play instruments. Didn't work out so well, but we still loved music. But from dance classes to tickets to the theater to visits to museums, those early experiences shaped me and informed the trajectory of my life. I saw from a young age how the arts can nurture compassion, community, and probably most importantly now, healing. And now, as First Lady, I want to make sure Maryland is recognized as a place where artists want to be and lovers of the arts come to enjoy it. We are excited to serve as honorary chairs of this year's BSO Gala and proud to get behind the BSO's new statewide tour. We experienced a really informative tour of the back of stage, so thank you for that. And we're excited to share that not only will the BSO be bringing music to Maryland, they are also partnering with so many of our state's universities, colleges, and public high schools to host these wonderful concerts. Frostburg State University in Western Maryland, Chesapeake College on the Eastern Shore, and everywhere in between. This is an ambitious project, and I can think of no one more suited to bring this initiative to life than the great Jonathan Hayward. As Wes said, we had the opportunity to sit with Jonathan, and he is just so inspiring, a new generation of artists to pursue careers, and he is inspiring a new generation of artists to pursue careers in classical music. As the First Lady of Maryland, I want to make sure every Marylander knows there is nothing they cannot achieve, no matter their background. And as a mother of two beautiful children, I want to make sure they know, as their father always says, they belong in every single room they are in. That's the kind of vision Jonathan brings to our state and our families, and we are grateful for your leadership. My husband and I are thrilled to be a part of this team, and we cannot wait to work with the entire BSO family to bring music to every corner of the state. So thank you so much for this opportunity, and as the county executive said, continue to support the BSO. Thank you so much.
First Lady, here at the BSO, we saved the best for last. So you were intentionally placed after the governor. We, again, express our thanks to both of you for those inspirational words and your visible support of not only the BSO, but artists, creative types throughout this great state. We also want to again extend our thanks to the mayor and county executives, Laura Gamble, for your presence today. We can't wait to see you outdoors, indoors in the coming months as we welcome our incredible musicians into your part of the state and city. I would love to remind everyone that as the BSO celebrates sometimes centuries-old masterpieces, introducing it to many audiences here and throughout the state, often for the first time, we also are an orchestra of the moment. And I'm excited to share that we will be presenting a special concert in celebration of hip hop's 50th anniversary on August 11th here at the Meyerhoff. Additionally, as part of an exciting lineup of non-orchestral events, we will be having a special presentation curated in partnership with MindGrub Technologies, AI in A minor, featuring interactive lobby exhibits, a musical performance, and a thought-provoking panel discussion by a leading group of technologists and creatives on AI's impact on the future of artistic expression, that happening on August 9th. So there is so much to look forward to. Again, we invite you to visit our website for more information and to reserve your place at these upcoming concerts. Our next and final guest today is Music Director Designate Jonathan Hayward, who was back on our podium 2 days ago in preparation for this weekend's performances at Strathmore and the Meyerhoff, leading into another week of concerts in the middle of this month. We truly have found and have recruited to Baltimore, to Maryland, a world-class musician, person, advocate for the future of music and what music can do to so many people's lives. He has thrown himself into the job since we announced his appointment, when, by the way, he was only 29 back in July. Now, a much more mature 30-year-old, he is bringing such energy and excitement to our organization. He will be closing out this summer season by leading our annual Donor Appreciation Concert on August 19th. That concert is open to all of our supporters who make a gift of $75 or more. There's still time, of course, to support the BSO in this way and gain access to this special concert that Jonathan will be leading. He'll be joined on stage by our wonderful, wonderful musicians as well. Your support not only helps us to perform throughout the state, but it will help us to further our Hall for All initiative that is endeavoring to take this incredible community asset, the Meyerhoff Symphony Hall, and make it open, available, welcoming, and of use to many, many more people and organizations. Jonathan will then make his official debut as music director during our season opening weekend here at the Meyerhoff and Strathmore in September, that culminates with a free community concert here at the Meyerhoff as part of the return of Artscape. I'm pleased to report that single tickets for the season opening weekend are now available, and we so appreciate the community's support of this major fundraiser that makes our educational programming, including the Baltimore Symphony Youth Orchestras and OrchKids programs, possible. Again, information can be found at bsomusic.org. Now, without further ado, can I get away with saying again, we've saved almost the best for last? Incoming music director, Jonathan Hayward.
Good morning, everyone, or should I say a great morning. The energy that we have in this room today is so inspiring, and I'd be remiss if I really didn't acknowledge what I feel is an artistic movement, actually. Artistic movements for me don't just happen in this building. It starts out with a community support. The amount of support that I've gotten and received just as music director designate has been nothing but incredibly heartwarming and overwhelming. in such a beautiful and positive way. And with that said, I want to really acknowledge every single one of you today and thank you from the bottom of our heart at the BSO for your continued support. Because without that, we cannot strive for this deep artistic movement. So really, on behalf of the BSO, thank you for your continued support. Now, I'm really here to talk about this fantastic and exciting summer season that we have ahead of us. This is just the beginning of what I think is the intention and the inspiration behind what we want to do to serve our community here in Baltimore and the great state of Maryland. To be able to continue Music for Maryland and broadening our horizons in different spaces, to make people feel welcomed, that this art form, this powerful art form that I so love is for everyone, is something that is so aligned with my leadership and my aspiration for what music can be for a state and a community. To be able to conclude this fantastic festival with a donor appreciation right over here in our lovely concert hall is something I'm so very honored and privileged to be able to do this summer. We wrap it all up, of course, by going and focusing on our gala, which of course is not only going to be in this lovely space, but also in the Strathmore. And again in this lovely space, a free performance, which for me was a very important initiative and thought to really connect with our patrons. So I'm so thrilled for the first time that we'll be partnering with Artscape on this level. And of course, again, a sincere thanks to Governor Moore and First Lady for being our chairs. Your support with, again, the beginning of this movement that really encompasses the power of music, which you so beautifully illustrated. And it's something that I've always felt, but to be able to have your support along everyone else in our community means that we can actually see it come to life. So for that, I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I'm so thrilled and excited for this wonderful artistic summer festival. Thank you very much, everyone.
In closing, we thank you all for being with us. Distinguished guests, thank you for being here. Governor and First Lady, a stack of scores will be delivered to your residence later this week because as honorary co-chairs of the gala, you also are expected to be a cover conductor. That means that if Jonathan decides to take the weekend off, it's up to the two of you to lead the forces of the orchestra. Thank you all for being here. We'll see you throughout the summer and into Jonathan's inaugural season. And I invite our distinguished guests up for a photo. Thank you very much.